This is my third time in Iraq, and first time I was here, I thought it was the right decision. Second time, I was like, all right, well, maybe they need some more people to come over here since they chose us again. Third time, it's just a waste of time now. Too much money, too many lives lost, too many families destroyed, like mine. I miss my family more than anything. Iraq, they really don't care about us anymore. They don't want our help. This country does not want to change. And, I believe it's time to go home. It's time to stop losing lives, stop wasting money, and just carry on with our lives. And that's really all I have to say. There's not much else. Just miss my family. Miss my friends that have died. I'm done with it. I'm done fighting. I'm tired of it.
I didn't know that I was blind. I kept pulling at the bandages and everything, and it was actually my ex-wife, who was my wife at the time, had to tell me that I was blind. I had lost both eyes. I've got 8 prosthetic eyes. I wear one on the right side. The left side has too much scar tissue in the socket, so I can't support one. But this eye is a nice blue color. It's got a carat's worth of diamonds in the pupil. Those are the diamonds from my wedding band. My marriage fell apart because of my injury. So I had the oculist at National Naval grind the diamonds out of my wedding band and set them in an eye. And I kind of carry that around. It's the one I wear most of the time. You know, you put that eye in, you know that's the eye with the diamonds in it, and it kind of makes you think back as to, you know, how it has truly affected your life on an emotional sense long term.
What do you remember? What are the first things that you remember?
I remember turning a corner and watching the rooftops, because I was in the turret, so I watched the rooftops and the windows, basically anything from the roof of the Humvee up to make sure we had no hostile forces. And I looked down to kick the guy in the passenger seat and tell him that we were clear up top, and that's why I was looking down. And I remember the explosion going off here, and it was a delayed detonation to the one in front of us. And I remember this guy just blowing up, and then within a couple of seconds, it just went black on me.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
It's a guerrilla war is what it is. You're fighting people that don't have uniforms. You know, I can look at you and I could look at him, if I could see. But I could look at you, I could look at him, and you could be a bad guy, he could be not, but I wouldn't know. Because you're not wearing a uniform, he's not wearing a uniform, you're all wearing gutras and robes. I grew up on all those Vietnam movies, all of those good movies, and you really glorify war. And then when you get there, you realize that shit, this is not glory. You know, getting shot at is not fun. This is not what I want to do. It's hard to go into that situation, be successful in that situation, and complete your mission, and then come back to the United States and not have all that on your mind. Because it's not normal to sit there and kill somebody, especially if you do it up close and personal and see that person die. You know, that's going to change you. That's going to affect you mentally for the rest of your life. They come back and then you have nightmares. I had some really bad nightmares. This was really strange. Where does that come from? I never had dreams like that before I went to Iraq, before I joined the military. I never had any of those problems. Now I got them. And then you sit there and you wake up and you're like, whoa, what's wrong with me?
I decided to join the military because I was broke. I was tired of dealing drugs on the streets, and I was tired of living with my grandparents, and I was tired of not going to school, and I was tired of being American without health care. So I said, time, cut my hair, go clean cut, conform to this society and join the military. My mom freaked out, said, you know, you're going to war. I said, I want to go to war. I've been waiting my whole life to go to some combat and do something crazy like that. I don't got much to live for. I'm not, what's me dead gonna matter? I'll be a hero. I'll be remembered a great person instead of that dude that worked at the grocery store. So I signed up, shipped off, took a year in training. So then I go, my unit comes and picks me up. And it was even a trip because the other guys, their units came to pick them up, and they had dead Iraqis in the back of their truck. And I was tripping out. Why they got dead Iraqis in the back of the truck? So I get to my unit, and I'm like, you know, what are we doing? What's going on? And the guys were like, man, there's no weapons of mass destruction. The Iraqis don't want us here, and we're just trying to make it alive. And I was like, oh, now you're doing raids, observation points, traffic stops, and anything else we can think of you to do. And when I first got there, I realized the racism that the soldiers had. It was obvious to me when they talked about the Iraqis and they called them towelheads and every other name they could think of, and it really took me back. And I was like, wow, like my whole life I've been taught that this is wrong. We can't be, you know, treating people like this. But it was obvious that it came from higher than that, is that they were brainwashed into believing that Iraqis are less than them and they're all terrorists, and if you kill an Iraqi it's okay because another dead Iraqi is a good Iraqi. And then started to talk to the guys, and these three guys, they came to me and they boasted to me of how they had beaten a prisoner to death, and how one guy from the front punched him and the two on the side kicked him in the head and he just dropped. And I was like, you know, well, what'd you guys do that for? They said, he's a mortar man. He killed a couple of our guys, so we had to take him out. The guy was handcuffed with a bag on his head. And then I talked to two other guys, and these guys, they had killed whole families at traffic stops. They were procedure. They come to the traffic stop, you shoot. And these guys told me, you know, I killed the father and his three daughters.
You know, it's been a long journey for us. You know, Eddie's truly a miracle Marine. He wasn't supposed to be here. And we struggled, you know. He was supposed to be on life support for the rest of his life, and you know, the doctors gave us no hope.
All right, here we got Eddie observing. See what he can do.
The boys were on a rooftop, and you know, fortunately Eddie was hit. They did what they needed to do, and they got him to Baghdad, and Balad, that's where they removed the bullets.
We need to get a man on the fucking ground!
His